it, or is that just at the end? I'm new to this. All right. We'll go ahead and begin. So I think we're missing Mike. We have a couple people on Zoom and a couple guests as well.
Can I ask a clarifying question? Sorry. Is Alex taking minutes today?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it.
Yes. So before we invite our guests to have a moment, should we just go around and just do a quick introduction? We have Jean Hebert Larson and Deborah Vandetta on Zoom. They are two of our commissioners. And then Bev, do you want to introduce yourself? Just go around real quick.
Bev Nordstrom.
Alicia Shebril. Jesse Kerr.
Dave Solheim.
I'm Jerry Tenbush, the City Council Liaison to the Arts Commission.
And Alex is quiet over there, but she's our city staffer. Like, so we always start with guests. Do you want to go ahead and speak? Let us know what you'd like to bring to us. Yeah.
Is that working? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, folks. I'm Ariella Sophie Sternberg here representing the Clackamas Arts Alliance. Excited to see more of what's going on with the arts in Estacada. Also, just generally liaise with you, see what we can do to support what you already have going on, basically.
Great.
So great to be here.
Well, thanks for being here. Feel free to chime in or as we're chatting about things. Yeah, sure.
Oh,
All official.
hi, I'm Sarah. I've been emailing you guys in circles.
Oh, background.
I am so lost in emails that I thought it'd be nice just to come here and meet you guys. So yeah, I'm just created a line dancing company for Estacada. We're just looking to volunteer and be involved in the community and working on creating events. So I also would just like to see what you guys do too.
You said it was a line dancing troupe? Dance
Yeah,
group? Nice.
well, I'm teaching line dancing
Okay.
at the dance studio, and then I also created a dance team that does the line dancing.
Okay.
And
That's
she's the one who I've been emailing with about doing like a, right before we kick it off, doing like a lesson
Arts
and
at
then
the
having
Creek.
like a noon kickoff at Arts at the Creek.
Yes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
which we're super excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we haven't figured out like the stipulations exactly on like what kind of stipend we can give you, but we'll definitely plan on donating to your cause.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
excited
we
to have
really
you.
just want to like host events with you guys or with the community, and then yeah, anywhere you guys have to volunteer.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's great. And we do like something that we might want to get involved with you more about is that we do sort of a quarterly some workshops.
Mhm.
So like sometimes we do a novel writing or we do a collage. Next week we have a collage one, and it would be super fun to do a dance one.
Oh, okay.
So like maybe for future, it wouldn't be in this calendar year because we're pretty scheduled out, but it would be in the next calendar year.
Okay.
But that'd be super fun.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be really great.
Excited.
Yeah, we're all about all the different venues.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, I'm glad you're here. Nice to meet you in real life.
Yes, I know. I'm put faces to the names.
It's helpful. Yeah. Great. All right. And then Jerry, do you have any city council?
We decided on the proper spelling for the street ginseng last meeting.
Is it different than I live on that street? What's that street? What?
It's
Ginseng?
yes, that is the proper spelling for the
Not
street.
Ginseng?
Yeah, and there was a couple of decisions that were made that, we're technically for the best of Estacada, but nothing really for the Arts Commission for
Okay.
us to report. The quarterly reports that came into us from the other from the commissions were great, and everybody was really happy with what we got. So yeah, it was okay that you weren't. It was okay.
I know I have way too many balls in the air and I dropped it big time. I had it on my Google Calendar for the following day,
Yeah.
knowing that I know that city council meetings are on Mondays.
Yeah, it was fine though.
Okay.
The other reports were very in depth. And it was nobody even really noticed that there were a couple of commissions missing.
Yeah,
so.
Sadie said that Sadie and I spoke to Sadie and Alina, and they said that all the information that we had was the important piece. So
Yeah.
I was sweating it big time.
Yeah, no, it was fine. It was great.
Okay, great. Events? Okay, great. I was wondering what I was saying. That's okay. All right, so we'll just dive right in and take a look at the April minutes. Let me just look.
Hey, Alex, can you change the view? Oh. Never mind, it's good.
The one thing I see in here that needs to be edited is that I was elected as the chair, not the vice chair, and Jean is the vice chair at this moment. It has that in there twice.
These minutes are meaty.
I know, thorough.
I also wanted, I wasn't at the last meeting, correct? I was on Zoom. I apologize.
Says you were here, but I don't think you were here.
Yeah,
I
no, you
don't,
weren't here.
I
in
was on
person.
Zoom. I was going through some kidney issues and was on pain meds and I don't really remember a lot about that meeting.
That's fair. There was a lot that we were bouncing all over the place. There's a lot of information at the last meeting.
Yeah.
But other than that one thing, I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna make a motion to approve the minutes.
A second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye, all right.
Mike is
I am-
also here via Zoom.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
so for Alex taking minutes, I think that's it. Everyone's at least here in one way or another, right?
Yes, is Mike up there too? Hi, Mike. Okay, great. All right, and then there's been a couple income pieces. We got the Clackamas County Arts Alliance donation went through, and we got the health insurance marketplace donation went through. The one piece that we're missing is a $50 donation from Ace Hardware. And I think that's it for now. And PGE also, which is another 500. Can you also check and see at some point this week if any of the, we'll have to sort of keep in communication, you and I, about any vendors that pay. I haven't sent confirmation things out, but as those come in, can we do like we did before with like the updated? Okay. But other than that, not too much there. The only mail and correspondence, there's been a lot of correspondence via email, but not a whole lot of real mail, just receipts for those donations. A whole lot of communication. We're all drowning in emails about all these things that are happening, but it kind of will all come out in the wash as we're doing all of the other things. So just jump to the current events. We didn't have a whole lot. The work plan and budget was submitted and I was in absentia because I was a hot mess and I dropped the ball on coming to the meeting for that. So I apologize again. I did have a vendor application meeting with Elena, and it was me and her and Vincent and Connie about the vendor applications. So Mike, Deborah, Jean, this is important to note that all of our applications are basically, I'm just running it past her to make sure we're all in compliance. The long and the short of it was, how do I say this we need to make sure that we're not inhibiting any sort of free speech. And along that line, we can basically say what kind of vendors we are looking for and restrict it based on the type of vendor only. So like in our application, ours says like fine arts, fine crafts, and handcrafted things. We can't stop political people from showing up if they're art. So, or the community organizations piece was the one that's like a little bit more iffy, but we're really reaching out to community organizations and inviting them. But for example, because we are, our doors are pretty open with the organizations, like we're not doing just nonprofits, right? Like we're asking the fire department, we're asking these people, because we're doing that. If a group like the Democratic Party or the Republican Party wants to show up, we basically have to say yes.
For at art.
At Arts at the Creek, at Arts at the Creek. We basically have to say yes. I have said basically on our community thing is that it will say, or it says already that they can provide information. We're looking for community organizations to provide information or to run an activity, some sort of interactive activity. But the community organizations are not going to be selling things at Arts at the Creek. So there's not going to be any product selling, but they can show up. And again, I don't think it's as much of a problem for us, but of course, like Connie with the downtown committee, we all know just it's an election year. She was like, just be aware that that might happen, that we might have some political groups apply. But again, we're not posting, hey, community organizations, everybody apply. We're reaching out to people individually and saying, hey, we really would love for you to come. So that was sort of the long and the short of it. We were all doing like, but what if, but poke the holes, and how do we do this? So the long and the short of it is, and I spoke to you about this already, and Mike, I'm trying to create another form that we can have musicians and like our face painter and food vendors all need to complete some sort of application. They want it to just be like, we want to be fair. We want to say we're prioritizing these things. And so you're not showing favoritism and everybody's like clicking through the form to be a little bit more official. We were a little bit more sort of, you'll be here. Great. We appreciate you. Like a little bit more of everybody's word. And the city is just wants to make sure that they are covering their bases. So we have to make sure that all those people go through applications.
So I have a question. If
Yeah.
all of my contacts for the food vendors have all been either via text or via messenger
I
of
will-
some sort, I don't think I've got anyone on email.
We have,
So
we
is
have
there a
some
thing
emails.
where you can send, well, at
Yeah.
least not on my end.
Mhm.
So I wonder if you can send me like the vendor application in a link,
Yes.
and that way I can text a link to Ivan, or I can text a
Yes.
link to the gal at the Crescendo, or you know what I mean?
Yes, I believe I can do that. I need
Okay.
to make the application.
I'm
first.
not a
It's in
big email
progress.
person, so, and then
Yeah.
can they fill it out on their end and send it back to the city, or do they have to send it
It
back
will,
to me?
it doesn't get sent back at all. It's
Doesn't get
it's a
sent
Google
anywhere.
form.
Okay.
So they will fill it out on the Google
They can
form.
click the link and
All,
fill it out.
yeah, and so it lives on the drive and the drive is shared with the city.
Awesome.
So
Okay,
it's
that's
all,
super easy.
and that way we're just making sure we're within the lines of all of that. So did you catch that, Mike?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds great. I also need that link as well. And
Yeah,
I'll
it will-
have the engineers and the bands sign that and get that on the link or on the drive as soon as possible. You
Okay,
are the
and
Google Drive master.
I know, I am, I will say I'm very maxed out until after the collage workshop. So it
Don't
will be
worry
like,
about it.
I
Yeah,
know
no
we,
problem.
and we have agreements with all these people. It just means that in the next month or two, we need to have them click a thing that's like, we are complying with
Yeah.
health things. We say that we
Right.
will come. If we don't come, this is our understanding. Just those like really basic things.
Yep.
I have not looked at your form to fill out. I'm assuming, because safety is one of the concerns, that you have insurance
The
requirements. is that-
part of, and what the downtown commission did, and I'm basically taking their form because they
Mhm.
did it very officially last year, is that, like the food vendors will be required to, they have their own coverage of insurance and making sure that they are compliant with all the health and safety standards
And
and all of
who
that.
monitors receipt of those insurance carriers or policies?
Elaine said that we need to, what our responsibility is, she said the downtown commission had them provide copies of that to us, but Elena said that's like really not necessary. We just need them to have said that they are covered.
Yeah, probably what happens is.
Because
that
then the
they say
liability
we
is
have-
on them.
They say we have it, and then if something happens, that's
That's
on them if they
because-
lied on an official city form
Mhm.
that they didn't have it.
Okay, I'm just, my concern is if someone says it's your organization, you have mixed age groups, including children there, and they don't, they may say something but not have a current insurance in place, you are ultimately liable for it.
We are not if we have it in the form as such.
Okay.
That's why, and I have no idea about this legal mumbo jumbo, which is why I am copying the downtown commissions and then sending it by Elena to make sure that it passes. Cause she has had meetings with lawyers and all these things after everything that happened last year. So she can run it through and make sure that we are covered. Cause it's in the city's interest to make sure we're covered. So, so yeah, that's the deal with that. Which is making me kind of nervous, but it's very much like she is fine with her being like, I just send it to her and then she's like, fix this, change this word. I did that already with the youth application and the vendor application. We just need to make one for, and I don't want to make 1,000 forms. I just want to make it like for everybody else. So like, if you're a food vendor, then answer these questions. If
I-
you're a music
that's a
vendor,
great
answer these
idea.
questions.
I just want to say something. I hope that was just a drill.
Yeah, it's lifelike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope that was just a drill.
But yeah, it's just like if you go to the food carts in Boring or Damascus or wherever, you assume everyone's on the up and up and, hope nothing happens. Like you would go into any business anywhere and assume that they have paid their insurance that month,
Well, I think, and like last year we were making assumptions. This year we're gonna be
This year,
ticking a box
yeah,
and there will be a contract involved.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, then everybody needs to help me be official because that's not my job. I don't need to do that. But we're working on that. So, okay, so jump to upcoming events. We can go through this kind of quickly. Art in the Park is happening on Sunday.
And I have something for Art in the Park since the lady is not here to ask about it.
Oh,
Or no,
Arts-
that's
that's
Arts
Arts
at the Creek, sorry.
Art in the Park is what's happening on Sunday. So hold that thought though, but yes.
Yes.
So Beverly and Mike, are you guys still both up for doing that? Is
Yes.
that a yes on Mike?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm gonna show up, I think like 1:30. With all of our things. So far, we have like 12 kids that have registered, which is awesome. I'm gonna do my part to go around and see if I can get a whole bunch of them to come to Arts at the Creek also. So excited about that. We have our button maker. I practiced a couple with my kiddos, so we're gonna make buttons. We're gonna have the table for like pattern and mural painting. I'm hoping to I want to make a little thing that's like, follow us on Facebook. And I'm going to make some like little signs to, just to make sure people know who we are and where they can find our information. Might just be a QR code that goes to our website. And maybe like an information about Arts at the Creek. So that's coming up. And then, Thursday we have the collage workshop. Jean has already ordered supplies. We're coordinating with Deborah to pick up papers and things.
Can we just all, can we do a little bit of that coordinating right now, just since
Yeah.
we're on the call? Deborah, are you gonna be in the library this week?
I am in the library this week and on Monday, and after that I am gone.
Cool.
So this week would be preferable.
All right, let's do it this week. Friday?
Sure.
Okay, I'll be by on Friday then. Great. And then Alex, where are the supplies that you ordered? Have they come in yet?
Yes,
They're
they're
in
in-
Alex's office.
Okay, so, I'm more flexible on Friday than tomorrow. Can somebody else pick that?
I can get them from Alex tonight. Is that
Okay,
okay?
great.
I'll just get them from Alex tonight and then you and I, it'll be easier for you and I to coordinate later.
That sounds good. Okay, I think everything else is covered. And then I will check in with Chelsea this week and just make sure that there's not anything else that she needs. We talked last time about snacks.
Yeah, that's us. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask where we are with that.
I know. I last time like we bought snacks and now I'm like, we have to ask Alex to buy snacks. Is that how it works? We can't do a reimbursement for it?
Yeah. I mean, you can, I think, through the end of the fiscal year.
So could we just do it this time? Okay, then I will go buy snacks.
And I have some water. It's in my car. You'll have to see how many bottles of water and if you think it's
Okay,
enough or not.
okay. And I always have water, so. My husband works for Pepsi, so we have just cases of water everywhere all the time. Okay, and then, Jean, what time do you want to meet at Wade Creek to set up?
It's 7 to 9, right?
Yes.
How many people do we have signed up?
Let me double check. Last I checked, there were like 10.
Okay.
Like 8
Oh.
people have signed, eight people have filled the form out, but it's for more than one person. So let me check.
I don't know if I filled out the form, but I'm bringing my daughter, so I need to do that.
10 if we include your daughter, but not you. 11 if we include you too.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, great.
I'll be there. Cool.
So-
All
Do you
right.
have a maximum for how many?
We have capped it around like 15. Around 15. The one thing that I saw is that I think I might have said that I have scissors. I have like 5-year-old scissors.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't I have like kid scissors for kid craft events, but I don't have like good scissors.
Then I don't think we have scissors, so we'll need to place an order for scissors.
Okay, can you send a
Um,
link to Alex? And then I saw you put like 12 cutting boards.
Yeah, they are larger ones, and the last time we did this, we kind of shared. And
Okay.
so I thought that might be a good starting point. And then we can work up from that. I got a bunch of glue sticks, so everybody should have their own glue stick. I tried a few different other adhesives because I remember Chelsea had like different kinds of adhesives. So I got a few tape runners, I got a few glue like pens,
Cool.
just a handful of things so people, if they have a favorite adhesive, they can use that. And
Okay.
then I didn't get a ton of X-Acto knives, but there are enough, I think, that people can share and pass them around. So scissors is, I think, the only other thing except picking up supplies from Deborah.
I think maybe we should try to make sure there's like maybe at least 15 pairs of scissors because everybody's comfortable with scissors, even if they don't want to X-Acto.
Deborah had a ton of scissors when we did the Christmas show that were in the supplies I picked up at the library.
But we're not using library supplies anymore. And that was the library
Oh.
supply thing.
Yeah, and the scissors that I
Oh.
have are also kid scissors.
Oh,
We
I
are
thought they were
flush
good
with kid
scissors.
scissors.
They're kid
So many
scissors, but
kid
they're
scissors.
pointy.
Yeah,
They
the
were
pointy
fine.
kind. Ooh, those
Yeah.
are like
They
upper
weren't
elementary
round.
kid scissors. Yeah, those are legit. Okay, so if we could order, make sure that we have like enough scissors for everybody,
Okay.
because then everybody could try the other things. But yeah, that's the one thing I saw, and I was like, "Ooh, you don't want my scissors.
Okay.
They're like stuck with glue sticks and."
Great.
in
Alex, I
kindergarten.
will send you a link for 15 pairs of scissors tomorrow.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, so
I
I
think
think
that's
I'll
it.
probably arrive between like 6:15 and 6:30. If you can come by like 6:30, would that be okay?
Yeah, I can get there by 6:30. 6:15 it depends how next week goes.
Yeah,
But-
no, that's why I said 6:15 to 6:30. I'm
Yeah.
speaking optimistically.
Cool. All right. That sounds
Okay.
good.
Awesome. I meant to print this out for you guys. The next thing I have up here is the summer passport. Vince, do you have any updates on your image?
Yeah, I can bring it with me. Like this going.
Green light good? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, reset the image and kind of redesigned it, but, I wanted to add Ace Hardware since they
Donated?
donated $50, right?
Hey, they acknowledged our
That's
existence. I'm gonna
pretty
pump that up. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for a
great.
small town, that's huge.
Yeah. okay.
Yeah, and then, add, I think the Foundry's on there as well, all right? And
We
a
haven't
few
received a
State
donation
Farm-
from them
Okay.
this year, but last year State Farm and the Eagle Foundry did. so
That was
we're
my
hoping-
main question, because I was starting to draw in the stuff from last year from just like the stuff from the shirt, and I was like,
You
maybe I
could put
should.
PGE somewhere, even if
Yeah,
it's the
they're
dam.
they're always donating. So
Yeah.
yeah, just in general, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
PG's everywhere.
But I mean, if you're putting them on the map, it could be the dam, like by the lake.
That's
If
perfect,
you
yeah.
Estacada Lake, then you just say PGE in their dam. There's one of the
Yeah, because
many
I've put in
dams.
North Fork kind of up towards that area, so
Yeah,
that'd be perfect. They got that spot. Yeah, but besides that, nothing. I need to take that and scale it down, so taking it up to the library and scanning it in there, because scanning it with my phone, I'm getting like wrinkles and stuff, so it'd be a lot better to go up there. And so this
and
week,
if you need to chat
this week
with,
I would probably be able to get it done.
okay, do you need to chat with Maddie at all about the computerizing it or not so much?
I was just gonna basically do it for the
Great,
most part by hand, but
okay.
yeah, that might be the best. Then she could like,
I haven't talked to her about it all. I was just gonna
she
say you
could,
should
yeah.
reach out to her.
she knows some tricks and stuff, but I mean, I have Adobe Photoshop and stuff, but I've just kind
Cool.
of stayed with the hand done one
Well, that,
for the most
I
part.
think that'll look
But-
best, honestly.
It,
Doesn't need to be
well,
computerized.
I tried to do it scaled down, but it's like, I have to do it blown up and then I can scale it down. You know what I mean? At the point when we can put it on what we want to do, so,
Cool.
yeah, and then just, I guess put it on the Google Drive, or I could, I don't know,
Email it
just
to
email, okay.
me and then I'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Okay.
And then this is, I have, and guys online, I'll email this to you. This is just a really ishy, the other side. So I'm gonna just take this around.
What, Jean? Wanawaya?
I think that was my child,
Oh.
giving
It
video
sounded like
game
Jean's
feedback.
voice. I'm like,
We-
is she's
No,
sending,
that's a-
talking in code?
That's a 10-year-old with headphones on.
Hmm.
We have a small
Yeah, I
house.
should be able to get it.
Well, knowing your kids, I
Standard.
guess I'm happy it wasn't anything too naughty. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's great. Let's see. So, yeah.
And I'll share the individual things soon.
Perfect. So have we gotten all the squares filled out? Do we still
No.
need a brainstorm for
No.
squares?
And we could probably finish that maybe at the next. But I can say out loud what we did, so you don't all have to read it, but this is sort of the back of it. For our visitors, we're making like a Estacada summer passport. It's gonna be like a bingo board on the back side of a drawing of the region that has like events for the summer, family friendly events. So far I have, say this into the mic. So far I have summer concert, arts at the creek, mural walk, enjoy a frozen treat, visit MacIver Park, National Night Out, 4th of July Parade, Chalk Walk, Philip Foster Farm, Questacada, go for a paddle or play on the Clackamas River. I was clearly running lower on ideas. I'll move them around so they don't seem so prioritized. I thought Estacada Farmers Market, because that's fun and they often
yeah.
have like interactive.
Visit the farmer's market.
Yeah, visit the farmer's market.
Library.
Yeah, I have the Estacada Public Library Summer Reading Program, but it might just be like
Fantastic.
visit. It could be a combined one. And then I had a question mark on Timberfest. Jordan has gone radio silent. I haven't heard from him in months. And then I had, so I don't know what's going on with that. And then I had summer craft and summer picnic because I needed to fill out the extra squares.
do you
I
have-
don't know
You can always
Where-
use like Philip Foster Farms.
for,
They have interactive stuff there.
I have that on here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Sorry,
one
I
of
missed
mine.
that.
Yeah. And this is just, huh?
I
Yeah.
was just
Do
thinking.
you have like an event or so, anything happening over the summer?
Are you talking to me?
No, one of our.
We have a guest.
The line dancing, the
I'm
line
sorry.
dancing lady, Sarah is here, and we're
Oh.
thinking about dancing.
Hi, Sarah.
I wonder if you did obviously concert in the park.
Mhm.
How can we incorporate dance into that? See,
I was trying to do a couple things that weren't
Yeah.
necessarily like. And again, we can kind of, we might, a lot might show up in the month of May. So by June, we might have heard about other events or things that are happening. So I didn't want to like lock it in.
oh, that's a good idea.
So, but I'll share this with you guys. I just like made this on Canva. I'm trying not to ask Maddie about
Picnic
it.
at Wade Creek Park?
I have summer picnic.
Oh, okay.
But that
Yeah,
could be
so-
picnic at a local park and then have like Wade Creek Park.
Yeah,
da-da-da,
Timber
da-da-da,
Park.
Timber
da-da-da,
Park.
Yeah,
Cabanella Park or whatever, like list the parks.
picnic at a local park.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Specifically. to
that's
pick.
what I was just thinking, maybe highlight some of the different city parks.
Cool. I like that. Okay, so that's the summer passport. It's ishy. I think the look of it's great. Oh, this is related to this, but I forgot about it earlier with the correspondence. I finally heard back from the school district. I know pigs are flying, and I heard from Danny where
Oh, that's great. Danny Randall.
I heard back from her and she was like all about it. Danny Randall. She said, we would love to help share the word on upcoming events. They use S'more and approve flyers. She'd be happy to be the go-between and help distribute flyers. And also talked about maybe that we could put it in the Todos Juntos newsletter, which is a great idea. So contact. This is like,
That's awesome.
I was like, we've been emailing you. For a long
Finally,
time. I'm
yeah,
so glad you
that's
emailed
great.
back. Yeah. So I'm really excited about that.
I
So
think she just took that position this year because she was our PTO president at River Mill last year. And she stepped down because she's like, I have a new gig. And I
Yeah.
think that's the new gig.
yeah, super excited.
Yeah. Awesome.
So victory.
Super
So if
excited.
I will continue talking with her and see if we can get this, like, if we can print this out, I'd be happy to have, like, we need to pay to print 400 of these and have them in the hands of every kid at the elementary school. If we can send that out.
Or
that would
even
be
just
great.
putting them at the bottom of the s'more that I get weekly, you know.
But to have a printed out thing,
Oh,
because this is
like on
the
a,
actual flyer. The
like on
physical
the
flyer.
bulletin board in the high
No,
school.
I mean
quad or
literally to
whatever.
go home with every child.
Oh, in a oh.
Because we're doing the summer passport. It needs to be something they bring home and say, hey, family, this is what we should do this summer, and something that they put up on their fridge. So it needs to be something we can print out. And I think it's totally worth it to print it out to flood to schools if we can. So,
Totally.
and I think they'll probably, if they're anything like my school district, the big thing is that you're not promoting a business, that it's nonprofits, which we are, with the exception of like maybe listing a couple businesses on it. So, yay. Sorry, that was a belated communication piece. I forgot about that. So great. So we can do the final ideas. If anyone thinks of anything or comes up with anything, it'll be really easy for me to finish the last minute formatting in June. And then Vince, do you think that we could have the image, your side of it, by next month's meeting in June? Sweet. Okay.
Maybe one of the highlight actual sponsors and stuff. Now I have kind of
Okay, great. So then hopefully we can approve that. We'll try to have that ready for all of us to approve in June and then mass print it. I've also had conversations, this sort of leaks into the next things, with Danelle at Yo Treats, who's happy to have that be a place where people can pick it up. So we might post it on Facebook and say, you know, grab one at Yo Treats if you don't have one. And she was going to check her stock of the tokens and stuff to see what they could do in terms of like when you bring it in, the first 100 people to return it by the end of August gets a Yo Treat token or whatever. And then she also said that she'd be able to put in some like gift cards if we wanted to use that as part of the raffle at the end of the summer. So she was super responsive to that. So that's great too.
Are we gonna have them at the library as well?
Yeah, I think we could. Deborah, do you think that the library would be a place to hand those out?
Absolutely.
Or just have them on a
can
table
totally
or
do
a
that.
desk?
Cool. And then like we'll be, you know, like I plan on tabling a little bit at the summer concerts the way I did last year to promote Arts at the Creek, so we could have that available for people there. So we'll print boatloads and just flood them everywhere.
Yeah. There's
So.
probably a few more businesses that wouldn't mind us putting them on the edge of a counter, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think high school pharmacy and the hardware store are super high traffic areas that we could just have. I've seen different sort of calendar related items set out on the
And
where the
Boba-
cashiers
Boba
are before.
Plastic
Boba
also.
Blastic.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I
great
would
one.
think anywhere with a counter at the end, like I'm thinking of Time Travelers specifically, where they have the little kids coloring sheets. My daughter
Stack-
just runs over there by herself and grabs them. Now she knows where
And
they
a
are.
stack
so-
of them right over there.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
and I
right,
think
exactly.
if we-
Obviously, City Hall.
This is,
the
I feel like
library.
it's kind of an investment in our future, because if we flood it and everyone sees it everywhere this year and we do the same thing next year,
summer.
and
Totally.
they're like, I saw that everywhere in town, I want to have my business's logo on that and contribute, then the payoff might not be this year in terms of fundraising, but it might be down the line.
Totally. Yep, I agree.
So cool. So that's going. And then I had the chalk workshop on here, Deborah, just because that's coming up also and we haven't talked about it. Do you want to
Hey,
talk?
I just heard, yes. I reached out to Carl for something on July 11th, Thursday in the evening at Wade Creek to do just a very casual chalk art workshop and bring the cool artist street pastels. And he could show some techniques, and then we could kind of let people go to town for the next hour. He was thinking he would be willing to do like an hour. So
What time are you thinking? July
I
11th?
think maybe our usual time or maybe a little bit earlier. I don't know.
I wonder if it's with kids, it might be earlier, might be better. Although
It's
dinner
a
time.
But not too
Tuesday.
early when it's hot.
Yeah, that's also true.
If you started at 6, it's still early enough that the kids can come, like I could bring my kids for at least an hour. And
So
then
just shift an
we
hour
could have,
earlier,
we have
6
dinner
to
at 5:30. We can
8.
go and have dinner.
And that's gonna be outdoors, right? So there's no need to
yeah.
reserve the room or any of that.
Pretty much, yeah, because we'll be doing the chalk art outside.
And you mean like Carl, right?
Yeah, Carl Hagen. He's done beautiful chalk
Yeah.
art every time.
I'm just
for us,
wondering
so.
if I wonder if there's any images or anything that we could of the chalk art, if we want to send it to Maddie, if she wants to mock up a flyer at some point, like in June,
Yeah,
because then we can
I
hand that
think
out
I
to
have
us.
it. You might even be able to find it on Facebook.
So how long were you thinking total? A 2-hour thing like we normally do, but with 1 hour of
Yeah.
the artist and then another hour of just whatever of
Yes,
us.
another hour for like free time for people to use the supplies and create some chalk art up at Wade Creek.
Awesome. 6 to 8 then?
That works for
Is
me.
that doable?
I think we could say 6 to 7. Or what we 6 to 7:30, and then it really is a rolling end time.
Perfect.
Does that make sense? Because then people
Yeah,
will
if
know
we
they're
don't
not
have to lock
signing
up the
up for all-
building,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's sort of rolling. And then I forgot to put this on there, but as a reminder, we did, but everyone enthusiastically wanted to be part of the 4th of July parade. Are we still feeling that?
Well, we were wanting
Are you guys
to
still
do
around?
chalk on the 4th of July parade.
But we were just gonna be in the parade and hand out chalk
Right.
for the
Yes.
chalk walk.
Right.
I am still in. Is anyone else still in?
I'm still in.
You're still in?
Well, yeah, Steve will be in
I'm
it.
still
with
in.
Deborah,
Parks
Mike?
Commission, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Anyway.
That's mandatory for my family.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I'll recruit my small
Mike's
one
gonna
also.
pull me in a wagon, actually, so.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do all the things. We could even
We could roll the
tractor
tractor
and
down.
trailer
The covered
and
wagon.
whatevs, you know?
That, not a little red wagon, he's pulling a covered wagon like an oxen.
I could actually wash the truck once a year and we could put some people in the back, and my kids would love to heave candy at people. That's their
I think that's the one thing we're not supposed to do anymore. We have to hand it to
We're
them.
handing out
Yeah,
chalk.
We're
What?
not heaving chalk at children.
Oh, no, just candy and chalk. Well,
I'd
we
sit on
could-
a hay bale.
Yeah, okay, we can firm that up
Yeah, we
next month.
can firm that up later, but just wanted to make sure we were all still in.
There is
We had-
no theme. It's just gonna be red, white, and blue, 4th of July. It's too hard to
All right.
That's the theme.
coordinate a theme.
It is the theme. It doesn't need a theme.
Independence Day,
Yeah.
that's the theme.
The theme is 4th of July. Cool. All right. So,
Oh, it's
okay, background noise.
a little
Okay.
bleed through.
I'm sure you guys saw, or hopefully you saw, I sent out like a newsletter, like email. Did you get that in your, nobody checks their email. I sent out a
No, I checked.
newsletter, like email to everybody.
When did you send it?
I sent it like a week or 2 ago. Anyway, I just was for I sent it out to a group of people that said they wanted to hear more about events, and it just sort of
Yeah.
put out like the couple upcoming events. No, that's the water bill. It was an email that I sent out. Anyway, we keep having these people click on the form whether or not they want to hear about future events. And we don't tell them about future events. So I was trying to tell them about future events. So I just took our Facebook posts and like put them in the body of an email.
On the
I
20th.
have it. I got it.
I'm
I
looking
see it.
for it.
It's like, come on, guys. I did a
cool.
whole thing.
Yes,
You got it?
I got it.
Okay.
I think I thought it was for commissioners, though. but reading it now, that's kind of stupid because the
The
way it's
logo-
written
No,
is
I
not
s-
like it's just for commissioners,
I sent
but
it to you guys passive aggressively to be like, would this be a good idea?
Was it sent
Um,
from Deborah? I got one from
it's
Deborah.
from
of-
Arts Commission is what it says to me. Arts
Okay.
Commission at Art Commission at City of Estacada.
When do you
The
say send it? Hold on,
logo,
21st.
the logo, you can't read Estacada Area Commission on the logo on the email.
You
It
can't on
has
mine?
I don't remember what it's called. The mask on the logo, there's no like background behind it, so like it just fades into black on my email.
Oh, do you have a black
Do
background?
you have dark mode on?
Oh, yeah.
I do
me
have
too.
I have dark mode on to preserve my phone, so I
If-
wonder if that's the case for.
Yeah, if you
stuff.
don't have dark mode on it, it comes up.
So, but
Logo.
where I'm
Okay.
going with that is I wonder
I
if
see what it looks like.
Maddie could fix that for us. So
Yeah,
that we
there's-
have a
there's a-
logo.
There's a whole bunch of different logo files
Okay,
and I don't know what they all are. So
Okay.
I will look into that.
great. Yeah, I just wanted to
Um,
flag that because you can't read it in my email anyway.
That's great to know. And it was just sort of like an on a whim because I was like, we need to get word out to the collage about the collage thing. And just, I think if we tell people or we ask people if they want to hear about events, we should probably tell them. So I'm just gonna maybe do that. Like, I'm not gonna commit to it every month or whatever, but when we have a bunch of events coming up, I'm just gonna blast out an email like that.
Yeah.
With
It is
the
really
links.
handy to have all these links together.
Yeah, and I figure a lot of people aren't like following us on Facebook or you have to like navigate to the page, but if it pops up in your inbox, some people might see it that otherwise hadn't seen it.
Is there a
Um,
thing where you have a logo that changes for the background? Is that's too,
There are so many files within that logo thing. I was really just like, I'm gonna try this one and it
Right.
looks okay. I
it's
will
not
ask
like a
Maddie about it.
dynamic type of.
There might
It
be,
seems like that's should be a thing now. Like.
there's there's
it
a
should
lot of
sense
different
There's-
if
file
it's
types.
There's
showing
a
up.
reason people get paid for graphic design.
Yeah.
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 I don't even know if that's
I
graphic
think Maddie-
design. I think that might be
Um,
coding, but yeah.
Hop in.
Could probably, if we ask Maddie, she could probably tell us what the different logo types are.
Yeah, I have
If
that.
there's one that shows up
I have that
equally.
written down. Go ahead.
Yeah. Cause I don't
Yeah.
know either.
This is Ariella Sophie here. Just one note on events. I know that most of these events are really designed to serve this lovely community of Estacada. But just one plug, you're welcome to add those to the Clackamas Arts Alliance calendar too.
be
Which,
great.
may pull in more people. I know there's like a move to like increase tourism to Estacada.
Mhm.
If anyone needs me to send you the link to do that, I'm happy to. It's also literally, if you go to clackamasartsalliance.org, it's like just scroll down and it's right there.
Okay,
Just a
awesome.
plug.
I will do that. Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Yeah.
That's a good idea because like even just Springwater is Oregon City.
Mhm.
Like it's so I
Well,
think
we-
of it.
I mean, we want
as
everyone to
Estacada,
come. It's not
but
all.
it's like technically.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
want to drive all the way out here for a collage workshop, like more power to you. Come on out. But also we want our bigger events to be up, like to get more broadcast value too, so.
I also just have to say raspberry beret. I see you, Prince fans from Minnesota.
Okay, so that's all. I just wanted to mention that and say I will occasionally do that. Tips like the logo are great. If you guys have other thoughts, I don't know how that shows up for anyone else. It was just like I'm gonna try this out thing. I'm trying to work on our communication a little bit more, like that we have our feedback. I'm gonna try for the collage night to have like a QR code on the door and like when we end, hey, everybody, could you get out your phone and like fill out this 2-second survey to let us know how we did and any thoughts and feelings about what we're doing. And that will also have it in there, like join our list, our email list if you're not already on it.
Hey, Jesse,
yeah.
if you have a survey, it would be good to print out at least a few because doing everything online isn't particularly accessible to people who aren't smartphone enabled. You can just email that to me and I can print out a few is fine too.
Perfect. Yeah, it's only like a 3-question survey, so it might even only be like half a page.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't want to, because people are like, oh my gosh, here's a survey. I don't want to do this. It's literally like, was the time great? What other things are you interested in? And would you like us to email? I think it's like 3 questions.
That's great. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I have that noted, half page printed out. And then Arts at the Creek, not a whole lot of updates. Todos Juntos has signed up.
The
You wanna
only
add
thing
something?
I have, yes, so Ryan Tucker from Todos Juntos just emailed me today, and it is not like a big official thing, it's kind of a personal thing. Her daughter has a booth, and she also has a booth for Todos Juntos, and she's wondering if the booths can be close together so she can watch her child. So she could keep an eye on her child while during the day.
That's so far down the line, but I feel like we could maybe make that. work.
That's what I was saying. She was gonna, emailed her back like, yeah, I'll ask about it, of course, but we're having the meeting if you want to just come by and
Yeah,
then
we haven't like
you can,
mapped it out in any way, but I feel like we want to make an exception for a great organization and a youth artist. So
yeah.
sure.
And that was just something I was also thinking about, like on the vendor application. Is there any sort of a blank spot so people could like have written something like that at the bottom of
there's
her
like
application,
special-
like,
yeah, there's
hey,
a
my
link that says,
mom.
like special accommodations.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Alicia, were you able to get a hold of Estacada Youth Cheer?
Yes, I was,
Okay.
and they're in. Yes, that was a very, see, you were not so hopped up on goofballs
And
that you weren't able to help. You're
Remember
very
some
helpful.
things.
What are they gonna do?
She is doing, or it is Bailey, is
Yeah.
that correct? Is doing cotton candy, Estacada Youth Cheer Riot Cheer.
Okay.
See if I can see exactly what she said. So
So-
yeah, so sorry. They do. Okay, no, sounds great. We're in.
Great. So then I'm getting on the vendor or whatever, the other people application. We have 6 youth who have applied and 4 adults. We need to work on broadcasting the vendor application. Does the collective, do you guys have any way to broadcast like a vendor call for events?
A broadcast for events. It's mostly, most of the people who are like following us are going to be like artists within the community. So we do things that are more like call for artists. I'm new within the organization, so I haven't seen any vendor calls.
But that would be like a vendor, by vendor call, I mean, a call for artists. who
Oh,
would
for like
wanna have a
artist
booth.
booths?
Artist
Yeah,
booth.
absolutely. We'd love to have that. That'd be
Okay,
great.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
I'll give you my card too, and you can, oh, you
That
have
would-
my email already.
yeah, we've been emailing,
Yeah,
so.
perfect.
But yeah, that would be really helpful, because I think before I had asked like a friend who's an artist who's part of all these vendor Facebook groups, and she had sort of helped me spread it around a little bit. And it's early yet, but with, people's summers fill up and we only have 4 people. We would love to have.
Have you
more.
talked to the Spiral Co-op?
I've had very little traction getting a hold of them. Other than like walking in and talking to people. Their emails all bounce back and they don't answer them, so.
Do you have vendor applications in paper?
Or it's a Google form right now. It's
Oh,
not-
okay.
But we had an application last year. I think actually, I think Maddie actually did.
Cause
one.
like,
I'll
if,
look for
I mean,
paper.
I wouldn't mind going in there, but since they're not. I think that since it is a co-op, everyone's doing lots of little things and
Mhm.
it's not like,
It's not very
it's no one's
organized.
one job to like organize the emails and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it might do good to
Just
have
go in with a
15,
stack of-
10 stat forms go in and say, hey, here's a massive, or not massive, but here's a big art gallery full of artists,
That's a great idea. And I feel like,
hand these out, because they must have monthly meetings, I'm guessing it's co-op. So
thank you.
maybe we can go to a meeting. Maybe we can ask when they're one of
Do they
their,
allow other people to show up? to the
maybe,
meetings?
I don't know.
Will you find that out?
Sure. They
Is
seem
Never
fairly,
Carl-
show up during
they seem
normal
fairly
hours.
loose.
Is Carl still president of the co-op?
I have no idea. I don't know who's in it or who's not. Every time I've gone in there in the past decade, it's a different person working,
Maybe
literally.
I'm
Yeah.
misremembering, but if somebody is talking to Carl about like the
Chalk.
chalk, yeah,
Oh, Deborah.
he would know for sure when the meetings are. I mean, I live 2 doors away from him. I don't know why I'm trying to delegate this. Like go knock on his door. Group think anyway, he's a good person to ask.
Deborah, would you be
Ask
willing?
him.
yeah, to ask him if you're, next time you talk to him. And then,
Yeah, I can do that.
I can also, pop in and talk to whoever's at the desk, and between all this brain trust we have going on
But
here,
just
we
to
could figure
like-
something out maybe.
I think you're right that if there's just like even a small pile of applications that we like put
Yeah.
on their desk, then whoever comes to run the gallery will at least see it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's a good call.
Yeah.
And we did work on a paper application. I don't think we haven't like actually printed any, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that we have one. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna,
if
If
you,
anybody's going to First
Right.
Friday, it is their alumni show this week. This,
I was actually
So-
gonna go to First Friday because
Mhm.
we,
so should I fast
do that
forward
anyway.
that to, I wonder if we could print out, if I,
I could pick him up Friday afternoon here at City Hall,
City Hall's closed.
or Thursday.
Could you pick them up tomorrow? if I
Tomorrow's
figure it out
Thursday. Yeah, I can pick
tonight?
him up tomorrow.
Okay, I will.
Is that too tight of a turnaround for you? You can,
No, because I'm relatively sure I did do it.
okay,
Text me later and remind me. I will look into it. I have my computer. After we talk, I will
Okay.
look that up really quick. Because I remember going through and editing one on Canva. I just think that I didn't actually download it or print it out.
Oh, and actually getting back to what I was talking about earlier, should I just tell Ryan from Todos Santos to go back into the application at the bottom and ask for that in the accommodation?
Just tell her we plan on it.
Okay,
We'll make it work.
okay.
How about quilting organizations?
We have quilting is coming.
Yeah, skip a week
Quilt
quilt
club is
company.
coming.
Quilt company, quilt
Skip a week quilt
Group.
club.
club.
Because Mount Hood has an organization as well.
Great. Yeah. I mean, Skip a Week is coming to do like a arts activity. We invited them as a community organization. So not as selling things, but they're going to come to just like promote quilting and do an activity.
So to have other organizations to show their work.
Sure.
as works of art, okay.
Yeah. I mean, and if they want to become as
If they want to
vendors as
vendor
well,
and
then
sell
great.
their
Vendor,
quilts, yeah.
Just this particular one locally, we invited them as a community organization.
So speaking of this Skip a Week Quilt Club, back in the day when we had you guys are gonna get so sick of me saying that. When we had the summer celebration, they used to do the Skip a Week show at the church at the same time, so that you'd like go through town and do the summer celebration, and then go up to like whichever Baptist church it was and go through their show. Do we know if they are doing?
They usually
this
do it.
also?
They usually do it in July. Deborah, do you know? Because that happens at the library, right? I know previously when I talked to Wade Creek about their antique show, they were kind of doing that at the same time. That like the vintage, whatever it
Fair.
is, the vintage fair and the Skip a Week, I think happened at the same time, maybe last year. But we'll look into that for sure. I mean, it's probably not at the same time because they probably wouldn't do two at the same time. Like they wouldn't volunteer to do Arts at the Creek if they also had the show going on.
Yeah,
That
I
makes
would
sense.
think
It would be good to, if we can get it, is the passport completely done? That would be a good thing to put on the
Oh,
passport.
good call. Good call.
Yes,
Perfect. Thank you. That's
I'm very
helpful.
stream of consciousness today.
How would
Apparently
that-
we all are.
How would that work? I mean, what would it be? See a quilt?
Go see the quilt show.
Go to the quilt show.
to the quilt
Right,
show.
gotcha.
Yeah,
I
they
was
used
like-
to.
I was
it
like, look at a quilt. I
Make a
don't-
quilt. That's it.
Make a quilt.
it was a small, I think it was a small
I turned my
donation on-
passport in
Cuddle up in
20
a
years
quilt.
from now.
Picnic
I
on a
did
quilt.
it. I want my
But
young
that-
treat.
And that's great though, because that would be us really helping promote their craft also in their group. That's a great call. Awesome. I don't have a lot of other, I mean, I'm hoping, I think only one person, thank you, Alicia, picked up the fundraising ask forms at City Hall.
Oh, yeah, I have if you want to hear my little update, I have a little update.
Yeah, so just everyone else that said they would, nobody did. So that would be
I
great.
just want to point out, I was
weren't
here,
here.
I was here 2 nights
Yeah.
this month. And the
Yeah.
one night was a Thursday night. When I came on Friday, the building was closed.
I know, I
My one
forget-
chance
I forget
disappeared.
that all the time.
So
But if
I'll-
we
I
could,
will try again. I'm gonna be home almost 2 weeks now.
okay, if we could try to get some more of those forms into hands of local businesses, it would be very appreciated. I like, as a teacher, I'm just never around when businesses are open. It's really hard for me to go door to door.
I did
so-
do the online form for Comcast, but I have not heard anything back.
Okay,
Their donation form isn't through their online portal.
okay,
So I will try and follow up with them later.
okay.
And if anybody's gonna go see Paul at State Farm, I think he's back in town this week. He's been
Okay.
out, they've been out of town for.
Well,
a
that
couple
works great because you were gonna
I'm
do that.
gonna
He's
s-
been out of town too.
And
so-
I have a broken windshield I have to show him too.
Right, it's a
so
twofer.
perfect.
Nice, I love it.
So
Um,
yeah, I did Mossy Rock, the Insurance Mart Award, Time Travelers, and the Physical Therapy Place. And I didn't get any takers that day. Everyone wanted to sit a spell. It was a lot different from fundraising for Paige where I'm like, give me $30, like cut me a check for $30 right now or whatever. Because we're wanting more money, which so understandably you need more time to think on it. I told all of them that I would give them a week or two and get back in touch. So that's probably this week that I will do that. The wine bar is never open when I'm able to get there.
Evening.
Well, yeah.
That's okay. I think we hit the bricks and try. We've got some funding already.
Oh,
So that's great. And we're
I
not,
can talk to Heather on Monday.
that'd be
at the-
great.
After the downtown Estacada Commission meeting, I can talk to Heather.
And I did talk to, what's his name from Time Travelers?
Lonzo,
Lonzo, he's on the downtown commission or whatever, right?
Oh.
And we had a nice long chat. He was talking about, he took my information and stuff. I was like, oh yeah. Cause I'm on the downtown commission, so he wants to get together and
and on that
do
note,
some stuff.
I need to reach out to the commissions to see if anyone would be interested in doing, like we said, doing like a commissions table where like commissions take an hour and a half chunk of time to run an activity. So I will add that to my list also. But not a whole lot of other, it's just, we need to promote and fundraise. That's sort of it with Arts of the Creek at the moment. There's not a whole lot of updates there. So. I think that's kind of it. Does anyone have any like community updates or arts opportunities? I know first Friday, we said that's the alumni show. That would be this Friday. So that's coming up. I wonder if we can / should be like sharing Spiral Gallery's posts on our Facebook page. I just wonder like what Jean was talking about this and making sure that we really hit this, and a big piece of what we're doing is to promote all of the arts related things that are happening. And I just wonder if we should have more engagement about that on our Facebook page.
So it is, it's a tricky situation. Downtown Estacada Commission came up against this earlier this year, end of last year. We're not allowed to promote any individual business.
Oh, because it's a business.
Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
So when
Okay.
First Friday was a city thing, or was it ever like an endorsed by the city thing? It just was all the businesses were like, let's do this. Okay, it never was.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought Spiral Gallery as an organization was actually a nonprofit.
If that's the case, I mean, I would run it by.
Yeah, are they a
Elena.
501c?
I would run it by Elena just to make sure, but I
I'm
know
gonna find
that,
out.
Downtown Estacada Commission did run up against this and they were told can't promote an individual business, so.
Okay.
That
Which
might
is
be
funny
another
because
Carl
like
question.
literally that's what the downtown commission does, but okay.
Well, you could say
start
visit
all
beautiful
down.
Main Street or visit beautiful Broadway Street on our
Okay.
first Friday
Yeah.
from 5 to 7.
Well, we've had
You
a
just can't
couple-
say come to Time Travelers or whatever,
Yeah.
come to specs.
Well, we've had some things come through our email, like from Clackamas County and other things that I've shot off to Alex and that we have promoted. I can't remember what that last one.
I know
was.
you could promote the first Friday. You just can't say first
Spiral
Friday
Gallery.
at Spiral Gallery
Yeah.
or, you know,
Yeah.
Okay,
so.
okay. Any other community updates or arts?
Let me ask a question. I'm new, so if it's inappropriate and I should ask you offline, let me know. But does the Art Commission have a 5-year-old vision or 5-year vision or 10-year vision where you want the Arts Commission, its impact on the community and then the outlying hubs we have like Springwater, how to affect that and different areas of arts that you would like to get into? especially when applying for grants, do we know where you want to be in 5 years?
We don't have like a 5-year plan, but we did reassess like our goals and mission statement in February, which I'd be happy to share with you, but we don't have that. I mean, most of us have only been on the commission for like a year. We're very young commission, so we haven't
Yeah.
had the follow through to do that. There was years ago.
I'm a through line to the old guard a little bit. And I can say that before COVID, every say 3 to 5 years, we were having a community arts summit or a community summit that had a bunch of people from all different community organizations. And we had several brainstorming sessions with members of the community about, 3-year goals, 5-year goals, 1-year goals. It generated a lot of ideas and a lot of projects that COVID just sort of put the kibosh on. But people had talked about different art walks around town being a priority, like a long-term goal, getting an art center. That was before somebody moved into the ranger station, I think, but there were other buildings
Right.
around that we
That
were
would have
kind
been
of
cool.
spitballing and kind of thinking about. There've been talks of art trails and things like that, but it was a really good event to bring people together and kind of generate ideas beyond the commission. So that might be something that we think about or talk about at a future retreat. Is if we want to do another art summit, kind of what the planning looks like and what kind of funding we would need to have a community gathering like that and work toward a plan or pull up the old plans and see what still sticks.
Would that be like a, oh gosh, what's the thing that City Hall just did? Where,
Town
like an
hall.
open house
Town
or
hall.
town hall type of thing, Jean? Is that what it was like?
No, it was an all-day invited workshop. And so
Oh,
we had sent out feelers to board members on pretty much any arts tangential board. We had school people came and we invited Philip Foster Farm, basically anybody who had any touch point to like the summer celebration. I think we, 40 or 50 people in that room on a Saturday is kind of what it looks like. But the last few were funded by, I think we got Ford Family Foundation grants to run those. Jane Reed wrote those grants, I'm pretty sure. They hired an evaluator one year to kind of like facilitate the conversation. I led it one year with a couple of my colleagues from our evaluation company that I was working at.
okay.
Yeah. So there's lots of notes somewhere. If we're interested in that, I can give more information, but it's definitely something that would, it took quite a bit of organizing to pull together, but it felt really good to everybody who attended, I think.
I think things like that are great. I feel like we haven't had a solid committee of people that have been on it for more than a couple of months. I mean, in the time that I've been here, we've changed like 5 people. So it's hard to make those long-term plans when we don't have people who have the time and bandwidth to even commit to just being on the committee for a long term.
I would like to at least explore putting something on paper that we could dissect,
Yeah.
destroy, rebuild, whatever. But it seems like even for working with other commissions, City Hall, it's almost mandatory to have, here's our organic 5-year plan or 10-year plan, where we would like to grow with Estacada, knowing there's some resistance going from a small town to a medium-sized town, but it's happening. So how can you keep that community goals happening? But it's even, I think, more important also with applying for grants that they know here's our long-term objective. And of course, it's depending on major emergencies and funding, but here's where we'd like to expand from the 2-dimensional art that serves almost, I think about 80% of everything you're doing, from what I can tell, is always for the 10-year-old and younger, about, right? Is that the
I mean,
kind of the
none
crowd?
of our workshops are geared towards
But I
children,
mean, I'm
actually.
just saying those who participate for the most part.
Well,
No.
it depends. So the
I
art,
don't know, I'm just asking.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
but
new.
all of our workshops are pretty much attended by adults with like
Adults and-
one
I
or 2
think, yeah,
children there.
this, that's why we were talking about timing,
Like the
because
collage and
they,
the writing.
they have
and
all the
those
workshops
are-
at like 7 o'clock, so we just,
But they're definitely geared towards adults.
yeah, so like this one that a kid would go, we'd do a little earlier, the Christmas one where it was like, we were gonna have like
That was more
activities and hot
kid.
chocolate, it was a little earlier. Arts at the Creek is about 50-50. I felt like kid and adult booths.
About,
And,
yeah.
but there's like live music all day long that adults are
Okay.
definitely at.
I do
and
think
so-
that's something, I think that's something that we should talk about. We have a biannual like summit where we meet for like a big chunk, like a 4-hour chunk of time on a Saturday. And we did that in February. We'll do that again in September.
Okay.
So that might be a good time to bring that up.
Right.
And if you wanted to
The-
take
the
charge, it
planning
sounds like
meeting?
you have the right, that would be great.
Yeah, because I think you need some type of track, even though we change it, to actually work with
Oh.
City Hall and what they're doing. with
We've
the
needed someone
business.
with the bandwidth to do it. So
Yeah,
if
so
you want
I
to do
would
it, that
like
would
to
be
do
awesome.
that.
Yeah, that would be
Well, I'm
great.
trying to figure out how I can use my skill set
Mhm.
here. And it's not to organize the life out of it. It has to still be a living organism type thing, but
Mhm.
we need some type of track to go on to expand to other age groups. And I got my hold on and it's not from you, Alex, but someone else sent me a Travel Oregon, what they did as far as the demographics traveling to the Mount Hood Estacada area and the percentage of adults versus kids and the money's spent on art-related things are very high. So whatever we do will benefit the entire community. So there has to be some type of track of not only enlarging feeding their arts.
Yeah, I think
know,
that's a great
so-
idea because
but how to feed
we've
the community.
tried.
Yeah.
And we can, again, I think we could dissect it a little bit more, but we've tried doing lots of things like songwriting and this and that and had like very little traction in the community. That's why we've sort of this year leaned into like the painting and the collage because those are the events that people have shown
Got
up
it.
for. Because it gets a little old trying to pay people to come and teach to an empty room. So I think something like a strategic plan is a great idea so that we can actually
And-
have something to build.
So we
on.
could put it in our September planning meeting.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Maybe
I
I can get
can-
something basic together so we have something to work from. For example, you have Estacada started officially in 1905. You have the 120-year anniversary coming up next year. That would be a great thing to celebrate our roots and the
Yeah.
changes we've gone through.
If that's something you're willing to spearhead, that would be amazing.
Okay.
We need your brain for
I'll
that.
add that in terms of data that we have to back this up and the money coming to Estacada, Estacada as part of Clackamas County participated in, I believe it was the Americans for the Arts Economics Survey. I don't remember the exact name of it, but they're on like version 5 or version 6 now. And we participated in 3 or 4 years of that where we did community-wide surveys, which is why we have such good economic data about the arts in Estacada, is that we collected it. And that is available to us through that organization.
Can you say the name of that organization again?
It's Americans for the Arts, I believe, but it's the Arts and Economic Prosperity Study or something like that, or it has something to do with arts and economics. I'll look it up before the next
It's
meeting.
coming to save the day. What's it called?
Yeah, I know there's a tri-county study, like, so both Multnomah, Washington, and Clackamas counties, like county-wide. I don't remember how far it breaks it down by municipality per se, but I do know that the Arts Economic Prosperity Survey for Clackamas County specifically is on the Clackamas County Arts Alliance website. I'm happy to also just forward those documents to folks who need them. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
And
I think
it's a great, I feel like it's a great sort of arguing point to like get businesses to rally behind these things and to sort of do for like grants and fundraising to say like, this is why this matters actually, is that it's such a valuable indicator. But there's a lot of great like demographic data and other data in that as well.
I think if we reached out to American for the Arts, they could send us the Estacada level data as well, because when we did it a few years ago, they gave us a copy of it. I just don't know what happened to it. I think it might have gone upstairs to the office, maybe. I don't know, but there was one printed copy that they presented to us.
And if you want, Bev, I can send you her email. Is that okay?
Please.
Oh, that'd be great. Awesome.
And Bev, thank you for bringing up the 120-year anniversary. I'm gonna bring that up to the council and the city manager and see if we can make a whole year of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd
You
be
know,
awesome.
you know, every commission does events. We can utilize that and really promote Estacada. So thank you.
And Bev, if it's something you wanted to dive into also, we could connect about this outside of the meeting, but I have like a binder of information that's from way back Arts Commission, like 15 years ago at least, but that have when they were much more had the
We're much more
strategic-
active.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, well, when you have a chunk of people that are engaged for a long time, there was just a lot more intentionality behind it.
Mhm.
So if you wanted to look through it for
Love
like
it.
historical value, if that's something that would probably be great. So I can share that with you. I just hand you the binder because it's just sitting in my world.
Also, your haiku, which I wasn't able to was it not haiku by something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
haiku.
it was haiku,
Okay,
yep.
Haiku.
In that 1904, the oral history of this area has to be very strong. And I did something similar when I was in the Bend area. Our time to capture oral history is now what your grandma used to tell you, but that's going to be ending soon. Either we capture those stories of how Estacada struggled and persevered or failed and got back up. It's you have a short window here to get
Right.
the oral history of
Because
Estacada.
people are
Yeah. they're
passing
going.
on. Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
Well, and that's
believe
my-
me, I know that my family's, my kids are the 5th generation of my family living here in Estacada, and the generation above me, they're mostly gone now, so.
Well, but there's a lot of people like online that love to share these old photos and all these old things. It'd be really wonderful if there was some way or some effort to capture all of those stories.
So
I
you
don't-
guys are really speaking to my passion project here right now. StoryCorps has, at least they used to, an online module for building an oral history archive in your town. It was a project that they started about 10 years ago. And so I know that there is funding available, I think through the Humanities, National Institute for Humanities, or one of those National Endowment for the
Endowment.
Humanities.
Endowment.
Anyway, there's support for building oral histories of
I
your
heard.
town, and I would love to do an oral history of the arts in Estacada. So
That would be
anyone who's
really
interested in
cool.
that,
You
let's
got
talk.
Jean, Bev.
Bev's got her passion projects.
Great.
And go.
Set Bevan.
I did this for the Bend area because they're missing there's a very strong oral history. So I pulled together a reader's theater about the history of Thanksgiving.
Nice.
That would be a really cool thing to do
So
next
it'd be
year.
fun to do here. Yeah.
And so because time is also really short, I wonder if the city is looking towards any big 125 year things, because now is probably the time to really start thinking, because like as it is now, it's like, when did you say?
Next year,
Next year.
2025.
No, 2025 in when, June, July?
I don't know. the date.
Oh, okay, because it's like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really,
I don't-
takes a long time to plan stuff,
I don't
especially
think it's on- I
city
don't
wide.
think
anyone's
it's on
radar.
anybody's radar.
It should probably,
I
like,
didn't even think about it, but since you brought it up.
you
I'm
should bring it
going
up
to
at the
make it up.
next city.
Now you have your assignment.
At the next city council meeting, because honestly, like, it'd be fun, it's, is it sesquicentennial, or what's the 125?
Sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial, it's like, okay, now you have 4
is that
years
250?
to start planning something big. Oh, is that whatever it is,
Well,
but,
We just have
you
to-
know,
I'm-
like,
I'm gonna
a
make
year
a-
is not
I'm gonna
very
make
much
a run
time,
at
but
it.
4 years is a great
We'll just
amount of
make
time,
up a
especially if
term
we
for
wanted to
it.
do
Yeah.
citywide.
I'm gonna make a run at it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, I think it's a great plan.
I want this to be a
Catherine
thing.
Hurd is also the author of the Estacada sagas and the Estacada history books that you see kind of around town. She lives locally. I don't know anyone who's talked to her recently. I don't have a personal connection, but I know that she used to do storytelling workshops around Estacada. And so if we can get in touch with her, she's a great, she's
And you
another
can
great
have
person
her-
to
they
touch
have
base with.
Catherine Bird, I think her books are at the high school pharmacy.
And also Lauren Nibby is a local photographer.
That's
She's
the
been
one that I
around
see
for a
all the
long time. And I can get in contact with him if this is gonna be a thing. I can get in contact with him personally to, get him involved in some good photos from the past.
Very cool.
As long as we're talking about ancient history, I worked for about 10 years, about twice a month. I'd go to a retirement home and do writing activities with the residents. We didn't try to cover any particular period of history, but gave them prompts to motivate them to tell their stories, and we used the nursing home staff to write them down for them.
I love that.
I have both a book that's a sample of that, and it includes my sister did a guide for ways to do that. So
That'd be really
I could be
special.
available for
Last year, we
some
were
kind
just,
of activities.
we were just sitting at Wade Creek, Mike and Maddie and I doing a subcommittee meeting about arts at the creek. And this lovely lady, I'm sure Mike remembers, Betty. She came walking by and was like, "What are you doing?"
Betty.
Hey, Betty's great. She's the best. So she talked to us for like 20 minutes about her life, and her husband ran the funeral home for like 3 decades. And we just chatted for the longest time. And I mean, that's those stories that are just so important to capture.
And the high school has a good drama department, do they?
Oh, yeah. The
'Cause
theater.
they could actually assign little one acts or to write, and they could perform some of these oral history stories. We could,
Well, I think
there's
you
so
just
many things
put
to
it
do.
on everybody's radar. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That'll be hopefully
Anyway,
meaningful.
That's
We could
what
get
I
involved
have.
with the school and talk to those teachers too, like the theater teachers.
So I can help with the 5-10 year plan and the 120.
Right on. That's awesome. Thank you.
I'm glad you're here, Bev.
You gotta pick up the microphone so she knows you're talking. Lean in.
Beautiful ideas. This is it's so amazing and vibrant to see like the way council works. One other thought, take it or leave it, making those into zines or something like that. I can imagine something like again, adding like a school element, and then you give these to these people who are in their last years, all sorts of possibilities, just to connect it to like performing arts or visual arts. I mean, it's worth celebrating regardless, right? But just giving you that idea.
Good.
Awesome. Well, does anyone else have anything to
Hmm?
chime in?
I have a personal note, if I might.
Yes.
I'm going to miss the next 2 meetings. In June, I'll be doing literary activities in Minnesota. And my wife is a Joyce scholar, and so we're going to the James Joyce Conference in Dublin in mid-June.
Oh, wonderful.
And going to visit her daughter and family in Cambridge after that. So I'll be gone June and July.
Right.
June, I might be able to pick it up on Zoom, but July, I think there'll be like 12 hours
Yeah.
difference. So I'm not even.
Don't worry
gonna try
about
to
it.
figure out.
You're on vacation.
Wow,
Enjoy
what a
Dublin.
Yeah. Well, this has been my life this spring. So as I said, I've been home 3 nights, I think, this month,
Wow.
and May looks pretty good, but June is completely gone.
Take a rest.
And anyway, I'll try to keep up with things and be here for activities when I get back in mid-July.
Awesome. Are you gonna sell your books again, Arts of the Creek?
I plan to, yeah.
Awesome.
If I can fill out the form and qualify now. I do have some political poems in my new.
Let her rip. All right. Well, if that's it, anybody on Zoom have anything else to chime in or add? No.
Thanks for doing the work.
All right, call the meeting to order and I'm not sure what I'm saying. We're done. 7:50.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Deborah.
Just
Bye.
want you guys to know I'm really energized about that whole 120 years.
That's